everyone. My name is Mariana. I am 34 years old. At the moment, I'm living in Belgium. I just recently came to live here. I have been living in the Netherlands for about 30 years, and now I'm almost living for 1 year in Belgium. Originally, I am from Angola. I came to the Netherlands when I was about 3 years old with my parents and with my 1 year old sister. And that's where my life actually started, but that's also where my accident happened. At the age of 3, I was involved in a fire accident, and I was playing outside with another girl from also from the refugee camp, and she asked me if I wanted to play with her, and I was like, yes, why not? And then she went inside to get something. She was supposed to get like colors and paper, but she came back with a lighter and something of a paper or a tissue, and she put that on fire and threw that at me. So you can imagine, yeah, what happened. I was wearing all these clothes. They're like not good with fire. So my clothes started to lit up, and my sister heard me yelling outside because she was also playing outside. And then she tried to take off my dress, but she couldn't. So that's at that point I ran to our house, and that's where my father took out the fire. And from there, I was brought with an ambulance to the hospital, to the place where I actually lived for around, yeah, almost 30 years. So I had to stay in the hospital for like 6 months. I had to learn to walk again. So that's why I went to a special school when I was younger. And yeah, so like I said, I had to learn to walk again. I had many surgeries. So that was, I think, until I was 18 years. And then at that point, your body doesn't grow anymore, so you don't really need like surgery anymore. That it's like obligated. I don't want to say obligated, but you won't be feeling, um, you won't be, how do I say, it's not really necessary anymore because because your growth stopped. So how that was for me. So you can imagine I grew up in a very protective surrounding. My parents were always very helpful, but also very protective. Like, don't do that, don't go there, don't, So growing up with my burnings, I have very good memories. Besides the pain and everything when I had to have surgeries and stuff like that. But other than that, I really have good memories of my childhood and my parents being there, my sister being there, my brother being there, and even like our families being there. I grew up in the church, so faith was a very important thing for me. And my parents always told me to give everything in God's hand, and He will take care of me. He will provide for me. He will help me in my difficulties, and that's also the thing what I experienced. So that was very positive. But I guess you can say that the downside of this all was that my parents were sometimes overprotective. So there was like this situation that I wanted to do something in March when I was younger, and my accident actually happened in March. So they were like, I had to go somewhere with the plane. It was for free for children with burning, so it was like a great experience to have. But they were like, no, 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 this thing is in March, so you cannot go. And I was like, what? I did not understand why they were like still like holding on to this month so hard, because anything happened in whatever month. So I didn't believe that it was like a bad month or something, But for my parents, and especially in the first few years, not few years, but even when I was still like 15, 16, it was kind of difficult when they had when I was supposed to do something in March. They were just a bit scared, But yeah, for me, I didn't like that because I was like, why can I go? Why can I do these things? But on the other side, I can imagine what it is for a parent to to let your child go through difficult things like this. So yeah. And the other thing that was kind of difficult sometimes is that they were like, because they wanted to protect me and they wanted the best for me. So they wanted to protect me from the world, from the people staring and stuff like that. So they were always like, oh, it's better to put on, long sleeve because I have burnings on my arm and on my hand, and I'm burned for like almost 50% of my body. So they were like, it's better to wear maybe like long sleeves. So that's all also the way I grew up. And when I became older, sometimes it was like difficult to like adjust, and it's still difficult. And I don't want to say that's only the blame to my parents, because it's also something that I have to choose and change to yeah, to make the decision to wear something different. But I can say that it was difficult to make how can I say, to make an yeah, like a step forward in this process, because I was so used to wearing long sleeves, and sometimes people didn't even see it. So I always protected myself in that way, because of my parents telling me to do this. Um, but later on, it was like difficult to make a step forward, like to wear like a bit shorter sleeves, to make like a shift in the way I was wearing my clothing. So I think that was kind of difficult, because you grew up with this idea that wearing long sleeves would make things easier, I guess. And like I said, they wanted to and like I said, they wanted to protect me from the staring people and people asking questions and stuff like that. But I think in my head and in the way I do things, it was more difficult to make the change to wear shorter sleeves or a bit shorter pants or skirts or stuff like that. So I guess that's the only thing that was really uh, difficult, I guess, when I became aware of this, on an older age. Um, but other than that, my parents were really supportive, always supporting me, even on later age when I have to go to the hospital. When I wanted to do things that I wanted to do, and there were things that were not like really obligated. They were still like supporting. Okay, if you want to do that, you should do it. If it will make you feel better, then go for it. Do it. So that's one thing I really yeah, love about my parents, and yeah, always being there for me. So I must say, overall, it's been I had a good youth and positive memories. But I think only the way they wanted me to wear my clothes and stuff like that, that it was difficult, even till now sometimes, to make that shift into, yeah, to step out of my comfort zone, if you can say like that. Yeah. So if you are someone and also dealing with burnings, I really want to encourage you to tell you that there is life after burnings. I never stopped living the best life that I could. I always chased after my dreams. I always went after the things I wanted to do, and here I am. So please don't stop living. Please don't stop giving up on your dreams. And it's a process. Everything, it will happen step by step. And I really want to encourage you to go and chase the things that you want to do in life.